Hi everybody, it is Make It Monday, and I hope that you all can join me. I have so many cute projects to show you. I'm hoping that it doesn't take a whole hour, but I have a lot of techniques to show you with our projects tonight. So let me just make sure this is coming through and I have everything set right. There we go. Yep, I hear sound. Okay. So y'all can start hopping on because you don't want to miss tonight's episode of June stamping classes of Make It Monday, but June's stamping classes. I'm going to show you all the projects tonight. If you're coming to class, you'll just have a little extra knowledge under your belt when you go to make your projects. I am not announcing the winner tonight. I will post it afterwards. Been having a little trouble with Facebook of trying to get to that video to be able to see the comments. Sometimes it doesn't want to bring it up unless I play the whole video. So anyways, I will get that for you ASAP. But yeah. All right. Just waiting a few seconds and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Hope you had a wonderful day. I was at Camp Ader today. I was the craft lady for a women's retreat there, and we had about 30 ladies stamping, and so I had some helpers. My mom and my niece were there helping me, thank goodness, because wow, that's a lot of people to try to get to stamp at one time. But everything went good except my hands are covered in ink. I tried to get it off with alcohol. Everybody else's was too, and I told them, like I tell everybody when they go, will it come off? Yeah, in a couple weeks it'll be gone. Actually, what happens is, like, you scrub your hands, they're still inky, and then like the next day it's gone. So I don't know if it absorbs into your skin or if it's just like you take your shower and it disappears. Yeah, but anyways, it does go away pretty fast, but it does look terrible for a little bit. So inky fingers. All right, I see somebody is with me because I see a heart or a thumbs up, so that's good. I'm not seeing anybody here, but I'm excited that I just saw that little blip on the screen, so I guess that means that somebody is with me. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to introduce everything to you as I go, so that you know what I'm using. I'm not going to try to tell you ahead of time. I will tell you really quick. Hopefully you got my emails about classes this week and next week. Also, you should have gotten an email, I think this morning, about my $1,000 party. If you didn't, let me know if you need me to resend it to you, or if you're not on my mailing list, you'll need to get on my mailing list so that you can get all that stuff. Excited to have some classes. The $1,000 party is filling up very quickly, so I'm excited about that. Hey, now I'm seeing you guys. Hi, Laura. Hi, Karen. Welcome. So yeah, you want to jump on that, and then stay tuned for later this week. I think I posted that I will be announcing my stamps in the mail for the month, and I'm so excited about that as well. So I am back in the groove, guys. I am so happy to be over that week after Maui was just deadly. And I feel like me again. So I'm pretty excited and pumped to get stamping with everybody. Hi, Sylvia. Welcome. All right. Let me just pop over to the other screen, and I'm going to get started showing you some projects. I'm going to turn... Actually, I'm going to just... Give me a second. I'm going to turn some lights off because it's very warm in here, and I don't need lights shining on my face. Okay. All right. So this is one of the cards for class this month. And I just love this peach set. I love how this card turned out. I saw this idea online. I didn't even tweak it a lot. Most of it, there are a couple things that I tweaked. But anyways, the background here that I'm going to show you how to do. I think I might have shown this card to my team on Wednesday. So I'm going to pop through it really quickly, and then I'll show you the other two, because most of you are on my team that are on this call or on the online right now. So let me go ahead and show you what I did for this. We have two Stamparatuses set up, and one of them I have the peaches set up on, and I have the peach cutouts here. Let me get this up in the corner. We're going to throw this little guy on. Like I said, I'm going to try to pop through this one really quickly because some of you were able to see this last Wednesday. Now, there are 3 little peaches here, and I was like, okay, this is going to be fun, making sure everybody gets the right one. So I have them in separate containers so that everybody knows they have to get one from each container for class. I was going to describe what they look like because this one's got a heart shape to it. This one looks more like a peach, and then this one has sort of like an apple, like an apple base to it. But anyways, okay, so we're just going to ink this in, oh, that's very inky. Inking that in pale papaya. And then, oops, I don't want to lose that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sponging with Calypso Coral. And hopefully, let me scoot this over here so you can see it. And I'm going to put it over here on the side that looks like it would be the darkest. And I'm going to do that on all of these. On the card that I did for my team, I was worried I'd have too much color, and then I didn't have as much as I wanted. So I'm gonna be pretty bold this time. And let me just dab off. I'm gonna just move it in here a little bit. Okay, so that should be enough of that. I'm gonna leave that open. We need that for something else now that I got my finger in it. And we're gonna make sure this is in the corner again. And then just close this. Well, that doesn't look quite right for some reason. These look a little bit off, but oh, I love the color that's coming out of that. Wow, they look amazing. Look at that. I'm really happy about that color. Okay, so there we go. There's our peaches. Let's just pop those off of there. We're finished with that one. Next one I have set up is the leaves, and we're going to use Pear Pizzazz for that. I'm not shading anything, so that's going to be real quick. Let me throw some ink on there. Put our pieces in place. Don't you just love the Stamparatus? It makes things so easy. Make sure that's in the corner. And stamp. All right. Got that done. Okay. And then next, I want to do the background. I want to show you how to do that real quick. And I think the girl that I saw the sample from used some of the designer paper from the peach set. Excuse me. But I don't want to do that because it's hard to find enough of that paper when you use a big piece that's this size. So I took, yeah, I can't remember my colors. This is Pear Pizzazz. I want to say pale something. And I don't need a lot. I just need the edges here. So I'm just going to pop down over there real quick. I didn't like that. Okay, that's it for that one. I'll wash this stuff all later. So that's finished. And then I just want to stamp a little bit of background on here real quick. And I'm going to use these cute little flowers. And they're not little, but they look like peach blossoms. And this is probably a little bright, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that bright since we're going brighter tonight. And let's add some of these. Oh, wow. I really need my mat, guys. Ooh, that's terrible stamping, Cindy. Okay. All right. Always use your mat. As I tell everybody, use your mat. And I even made sure I had this in here. Okay, I do want to add a little bit of color with my blending brush. So I am going to come in with my, and you can see how inky that is. So I definitely want to take some of that off of there. And I just want a little color smooched in here. Hey, Karen, welcome. All right, so I think that's good. And then we just need a couple tiny little leaves. Look at these cute little leaves. Well, you'll be able to see them better once I stamp them. Aren't they adorable? They just add the perfect touch to this card. I just want to add 1,000 of them because they're so cute. All right. Now, I am finished with those two colors. Let me just get rid of those so I don't stick my finger in them anymore. All right. So now we just need to stamp my saying here. So I'm going to go ahead. It looks like that's got some pink on it for some reason. And I'm going to put Sweet as a Peach right here. Hoping, yeah, that should be okay. All right. And I am missing one thing, but that's okay. Don't need it. Let me find, where did I put my adhesive? Here it is. I'm going to pop this on. Well, great. Okay. We had some issues because I had 30 people using this Seal Plus adhesive. So I know many of you have not even braved the new adhesive. So can you just imagine me teaching 30 people how to use it? It actually went not too bad, but we had a few mishaps, and yeah, I bought about maybe 8 new adhesives because I didn't have enough for a whole class. Now I'm adding a little strip of designer paper that is from the peach. Ooh, well, that really didn't stay. It's from the peach paper, and I just cut a tiny little strip with the cute little stripes on it. And let's go ahead and glue that piece down. Before I stick it down, I have 2 pieces of ribbon. I'm not going to show you any fun techniques on tying these. Well, I will. This is sort of an easy technique. No fun finger tricks that I typically do with these, but this piece is going to just wrap around the back. I put a little bit of adhesive here, tack that down, adhesive here, tack that down, and then I put some adhesive on top of that once it's glued down. And that way it's always double glued. I can't stand ribbon pulling out of my card because you can hardly fix it once it's pulled out. All right. Okay, there's that, and then you just tie this. I should put my sample up here where I can see it so that I can make it just like I showed you, right? All right, and the rest of it is just, I'm probably not going to spend a ton of time on that just because this is going to just fit right over here. I don't want to cover any of these flowers. Let's put it like that. And then these little peaches just hang right on those branches. And I'm going to pop them, a couple of those up. So I'm just showing you how it's very simple to do. You can figure that out. And then here's our big peach, and I'm going to put him right there. And then he just gets this nice little stem like so. Now, I did forget something, and I forgot the little piece to do the Let's Celebrate You, but I think you can figure that out. That's stamped in Calypso Coral. All right, and last but not least, because you have to have these, are the Elegant Faceted Gems, and that's what I put right here. So let me just pop those on real quick. Hey Barbara, hey Linda, welcome. Good to see you guys. And I'm just gonna pick a couple of these up and pop them on here. Let's put that one there. I know these items are moving around a little bit, so I want to make sure they're not in the way of where I want to glue things down then. Okay, so there's the idea, and oh, that one's done. This one's the one that needs the peach. But I'm really excited. I don't know if you can see the difference, but I'm really excited with how much more pinkness there is to the peaches that I just did. So if you saw this from our What's Up Wednesday, and you can see that I was a little more generous with the ink when I put that on there. Okay. And I'm just trying to throw this stuff sort of all in one spot so that I can clean it all up for tomorrow morning when class is here and clean my house. Okay, I have a couple more cards to show you. So this one, Barbara Brocker brought me this for my birthday, and I was so excited that it was peaches because I just love this peach set. And I just love her stripes here. She used, yeah, gorgeous card. And then some of you may have seen this. This is one of the swaps that I got. And I thought this was another really cute way to use this set and a great fold. So, love the blue with it. I don't think I would have thought to put blue with these colors, but it looks so pretty together. All right, let's pop to the next one. Which one do I want to do? I'll do this one next. Okay, so this is one that we did today at the class. And this is also inspired by a card I got in my swap. And I did stamp a little bit of flowers on the envelope as well. So I changed some things up. I added some cinnamon cider in the background. I added some embossing here. And so I'm going to walk through that real quick with you. We are going to use the Stamparatus again. So let me just put this where I can see it, but not in our way. So I have this piece cut out already. So we're going to pop this in here. I want to tell you guys, this has been a game changer for me. A lot of these things, we cut 2 at a time out of this with a basic white. It's so quick to do if you have a lot to prepare for, if you have a lot of cards to make, or you want to do a class. So I am inking this with Memento, which I would normally not use Memento because I am using regular ink. But since I don't want to use StazOn because it's a photopolymer stamp. So I'm hoping Stampin' Up! Soon brings us a black that is, oops, you can see I missed a spot there. And it's because I have all of these magnets in here. And I typically don't use magnets, but for class I have been, just because I think it makes it easier for newer people. But there we go. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Not newer people, but people who aren't me. Anyways, I make things difficult for people sometimes. Let me just fold this. I should have folded these ahead, but I got back from the class and had like an hour to spare. And yeah, well, a little more than an hour. I did sit down and gulp down some chicken that my daughter had brought home. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let's do the embossing first. Let me just scoot this aside. I felt like I love all the color, but I needed something to not be flat on this card. There was too much flat. The background was flat. Of course, there was some lace on it, so that was not flat. But I just decided that this little strip would look really cute with some leaves on it. Leaves and butterflies and flowers. I didn't really care about the butterflies and flowers, but I definitely just wanted some texture to it. So I'm going to run that through my little shot here. And I just love this guy. I love being able to do the small stuff and actually have an extra little machine. So now it has some texture to it, and now I'm happy about that. Got to keep me happy, right? Okay, now we're ready to get the stamping done. The colors that are in this card are Cinnamon Cider, Pool Party, and Garden Green. Garden Green is a little bit dark, so we will be stamping that off. But it's a great color with this combo. It's just a little too dark for the softness of the card. Okay, now this stuff I'm not using Stamparatus for because there's so many pieces and some of them you have to use multiple times, like the leaves, and they don't match up exactly, so it's really just to throw it on and wherever it goes, it goes. And of course, I should have my mat under here. Give me a second. Get that back here. Okay. And then we're going to do cinnamon cider for the little tiny flowers. And I feel like I stamped them off. I don't want a lot of ink stamped off, but I really, cinnamon cider is pretty dark, so that's stamped off. That's pretty good. Yeah, you definitely want to stamp that off. Okay, and then we need some garden green for the leaves. And like I said, there are 2 leaves, and I'm seeing both of them. Here we go. So I'm going to use the big one first. And they don't even quite fit, but I definitely want to get some of the ink off of it. I think that it doesn't fill it completely, because I stamped some of it off, that helps it to not really show up that much, that it doesn't fill up the whole thing. And then I'm going to do the same with the little ones. I'm just going to actually maybe use that twice. And then one more time here and here. How cute is that, right? That was very quick and easy. Okay, we are finished with those colors. We're completely done. We're also using a strip in these same colors. So the color palette was inspired, as often is in these cases, by the colors here. Now the blue here is a little more balmy blue than Pool Party, but I think that it's not terribly noticeable because you're just putting this in the background. All right, so now we're ready to put this together, and I do have my lace doily, and to put that on, we are just going to throw some adhesive in the center of the square and then line this up in here. And of course it's going to show through, but that's okay because I'm putting this on top of it. And I am going to add some dimensionals to that. So let's pop a few of these babies on here. I'm saving the best till last, guys, so hang in there with me. If you're not excited about this, which I just love this card. I love the colors in it. It just comes together so beautifully. But the next card is not a flower card, if you can imagine that, because I feel like all I do is flowers because I love them. We have so many beautiful flowers that it's so hard not to use them. All right, let me go ahead and put the Pool Party on here. I still feel like this needs some texture on it. I'm having trouble getting that to go there. It's very flat. Very flat. Okay, but that's all right. It's going to have lots of texture on top of it, right? And then this one's going to go about here. Hopefully that's straight. And then this one's just a little bit shorter. Uh-oh. It's picking up the embossed texture. And I don't want to leave that on there because when it rolls back over, it's going to get thick and bulky, and yeah. I sometimes go a little too fast when I go over this embossed paper, and I shouldn't be doing that. I think this one is 4.5 and this one's 4 1/4 if you want lengths on that, if I remember correctly. Okay, now I am just, I think that on my sample, I think that this is not popped up, but this is, but I'm going to go ahead, since I did it the other way, I'm going to go ahead and just put this directly down because that embossing is going to pop it up anyways. Okay, now I did this ahead. We did this ahead for everybody because this had so many steps to it that I wanted to keep this a little easy. So we embossed the congratulations on a piece of basic black, and then everybody can just snip it to the size that they want. And I think it looks really cute with just this tiny little touch of black that really helps to helps the other colors to stand out. So we're just going to add a touch of green glue to that. And I'm just going to pop that on right over top of the flowers here. And then last but not least, I have a little bow done with linen thread, and I just need a glue dot. And in case you have bought glue dots recently, you'll find that they are actually on the back of the rolled piece instead of on the roll itself, which is, it's not horrible. It's just getting used to something new. What I like to do when I want a tiny one is just catch the edge of it and just roll it gently. Sometimes it likes to catch onto your tip, and I'm just going to lay it on there like so. And then I'm just going to pop that on there. So there we go. There's that card completed. I hope you like that combination. And then we have, let me clean up my mess here before I start the next one. I do have quite a mess. All right. Let me show you this one. I'm going to show you a few different steps to how we did this. So this little guy, a demonstrator from Germany had done a couple bears and colored them with different shapes and everything. And I just thought they were so adorable, so I had to try them. And then I wanted to use the rest of the stamps in the set because the kangaroo is adorable. And so I put this card together. I'm going to try to show you how I did all of the shapes, the stamping here, which is it's the mirror image stamping, and even the drawing in of the bear's clothing. So let's start with, I'm going to show you how I accomplished this shape right here. And I'm going to bring in my die cut machine to show you that. Because I feel like trying to explain that could be very confusing. So we have, oh crud, oh here it is. I was like, where's my cutting plate? We were embossing with it today. So, all right, so we have all of our platforms on our 2 clear plates. I have my paper. Now, I only want, and I'm using the rectangle stitch dies, but I want to get this, so I don't want to cut across here. So I'm going to show you how to eliminate part of your die cut when you're doing that. And I'm not even sure which of these dies I used. Let's see. No, it's not that one. I thought it was a small one. And so I'm just going to lay that on here. And then my next plate, my clear plate on top, I'm going to move down till I have it right inside of that cutting line. Okay. Now this is a beveled edge right here, so it's okay if I go over it a hair, but I definitely don't want to leave a mark there on that thing. So I'm going to be real careful that I don't get too close to that. And now I'm going to make sure everything is nice and straight here, and I'm going to take that through. And then, stay in screen, I'll just pull that back through there. Just pull that out, and you'll see that we did not cut this top part. Now I'm ready to take, I wonder if I found the other die. It was, yeah, I used it. It was on my desk out there, and I laid it somewhere, and then I couldn't find it. So I think it's here somewhere, but I don't see it. But it's from this set, and I'm going to go ahead and use one of these so that you can see what I was doing. I had the pointed one, but we'll go ahead and use this one. It'll look a little different. But basically, I just caught the edges where that, where my cut stopped there. Excuse me. And then just line that, or put that back over, keep it nice and tight so that it stays straight. And we have this, and I'm just going to snip these little edges here. That was very close, but no cigar, right? And so there you have that now, which I would have had the point with the other one, but you get the idea. So that I have my scallop there now. All right, let me set this aside. I know as soon as I get done, I'm going to find the other one. I thought it was with all this stuff. Okay, but that's okay because I already have one cut for that purpose. All right, somewhere here. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to keep this close so that you guys can see what I'm trying to work on. Got a spot on there. Let me see if that's glue. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do this little kangaroo first. We're going to mirror him, and you may have seen me do a mirror image before. And let me show you the stamp set too while I have that out. So look at all those cute, adorable little creatures. I even had to add a koala bear. The koala bear's hugging on the inside because I just wanted to use them all. They're all so cute. So we're using the kangaroo, and we're also using the silicone mat, which, by the way, if you can't find, it's, I believe, with the adhesive, which is now after the dyes. So, let me stamp him in. Uh-oh. Do I really not have the ink pads in here for him? Eeps. I don't know why that is. So, let's stamp the bear a while, and then I will run and get him. We're going to stamp the bear in black, but I'm actually using, I have all these markers here. I'm actually not inking the bear up completely because you see here where he has hair. We don't want that hair showing on our cute little onesie outfit. So on this portion down here, we have to use the marker. So I'm just going to marker the whole thing. And I'm going to stamp that on just a piece of scrap white here. So I'll go ahead and just run along here very carefully, not getting that hair. Is there enough light? Can you guys tell me? Let me turn this up just a hair. I have really bad sight, and the glasses I have on are not helping. So sometimes when I look at my screen, I really feel like I can't see things well, but I want to make sure that you guys can. So can you guys just let me know if did turning up that light help at all? Whew, it's warm in here. I've got to bring a fan in here when I close the door and get all hot and bothered. It has been warmish lately, right? Okay, so I missed all the little hairs there. I'm going to go ahead and just stamp him. This is going to have to be cut by hand, unfortunately, guys. Okay, got a little bit there, but that's not too bad. All right, so now we're going to take the same marker and we're going to use the writing tip, and we're going to just turn, okay, thanks, Sylvia. We're going to turn this into a little outfit here, and basically just draw it however you want. Put straps around here. So there's the top, and then the bottom, I just brought where his leg is here. I just brought this down and turned it into a little edge of the onesie. So now he's got his feet out and his arms out. Okay, and then I took let's see. I can't remember which blue, if I use the light balmy blue or the dark. Start with light. You can always go darker, right? And I just started making lines. I started up here. And if you want, you can, if you feel uncomfortable, you can come in with this tip and just make your edges first. Let's just bring this across here. And I might just do that real quick. Just make some edges where I want them. It's always nerve-wracking doing this, right? Okay, now I can bring this back. And yeah, I think this is going to be dark enough. And it does tend to bleed a little bit, so I did find, especially the brown, and so I did find that I needed to be careful that I didn't get too close to the edges. How cute is that? I was going to say, is that the die that I just was looking for? No, that's the one I just used. All right. And then I used some dark real red for the heart. Actually, I did shade the heart. You know, when I use blends, so today, of course, I had a lot of new people who have never used blends before. And, you know, most people aren't used to using 2 markers, and they were all like, we don't need 2 colors to do this. So they didn't, but that's fine. But my thought is, if you're going to do that, then just use regular markers. They're cheaper, and blends are made so that you can blend and get, you know, different depths of color. And so, but then, you know, our other markers, you have lots more color options. So anyways, all right. So for the bear, I used mostly crumb cake, light and dark. And I think I did just a touch of gray granite. I don't know why I feel like I have to mix those colors. And I really have to look at these because it's so hard to tell what they are by the cap. And so I tend to start with my light color and just fill in with that. Like I said, I did have trouble with it bleeding a little bit, but you know what? I found that, you know, I cut him out, so it really didn't matter. So I'm just going to fill in his face here. And then I just came in and blended really quickly while it was still good and wet. And then came back here and just blended this color in. And I just loved how it came out. Like, he looked so soft. And even though there's no hairlines, like fuzz or fur or whatever up here, you can really, really make it look neat. I don't know how a bear is supposed to look. You just play till you like it, right? Okay, now let's do his arms here really quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on the coloring because you can do that yourself and you can figure that all out. But I do want to show you how to do the mirror image thing. And I think I'll just use my black pad. That might be what I used anyways. Let's get a little shading down here under his armpits. Anywhere where clothing could cause a shadow is where, or where your arm like this can cause a shadow, is where I put the darker parts. Okay, he's pretty much done. I could color his nose, but I'll leave that for now. Okay, so that's coloring for him. Let's go back to doing our kangaroo. And I'm going to use black for him. I think I used gray, basic gray, but this should be fine. So we're going to stamp this right on the acrylic mat. And then I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to I can see the white sheet underneath. And I'm going to just figure out where do I want my kangaroo to lay. And you just lay that down. And then just gently rub around so that you're pressing the ink from the acrylic sheet onto the paper. it doesn't take a lot of rubbing. It's just that because I'm being so gentle, I'm afraid that I'll miss a spot. So I do go over it a lot just because of that. And there you go. So here we took a kangaroo that would have been facing this direction, and I wouldn't have liked how it hid under my bear because I really wanted the flower to show. And so I turned it the other way so that the flower would show out here. Okay, flower's going to stay white, so I'm just going to do the center yellow. This is still a little bit wet, so I don't want to color too much. But I will tell you that I decided to stamp the kangaroo with, or to color him. I wanted him a little different than the bear. So I did use gray granite with a touch of crumb cake. And so mostly light gray granite. Because I think they're sometimes a little dusky looking. So I thought maybe gray would be okay, as long as it had like a touch of the tan crumb cake to it. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this whole thing in. So some people like to take a lot of time in color. Some don't. It's totally up to you. I just want you to know that if I don't do it exactly as you do it, that doesn't make what you do wrong, and it doesn't make what I do wrong necessarily. But I probably, even off camera, do not take a lot of time for coloring because I don't know. I guess I always felt like there were always other things to get to, and I tended to really gravitate toward stamps that were like two-step or that type of thing, and not do a lot of coloring. But since the blends came around, I have really gone back to coloring, but it can't take too long. Like, I just won't end up doing it if it takes too long. So if I'm going fast, that's my reason. That's just me. That's just how I roll, I guess. But yeah, you can definitely take a lot more time, and I'm sure make it look much more beautiful than I'm doing with my quick toss on of color. And now I'm going to use crumb cake for the belly, and I'm just going to use the light, and then I'm going to pull in a little bit of gray granite because I don't want it to look too tan. And I might just add a little bit of tan in here, just some touches of it. And I'll come back in with a little bit of light gray granite. Okay, there we go. He's done. All right, so now what we need to do, we have this cut, we have him stamped, we have our bear stamped. We just need to cut him out. And what I also did was I cut a little piece of this polka dot. I wanted a polka dot, and I really struggled to find one. This is from the designer paper that's in the Hostess packet. And because, you know, one side is black and white and the other side is printed with all these really bright colors. So this is going to go right here. And then I do want to show you how I put this ribbon on. So again, it's similar to the other one, except that I did tie a bow with this one. And this one just goes around here. A touch of adhesive. And then and then I'm going to just go ahead and get that ready to glue down. Let me fold my card here quick. Bone folder's gone. All right, let me just pop that in place. Then let me just put a little green glue on here, and I just love using little strips of colored paper, and I know a lot of you are like, I don't know how to use colored paper, and you know, I use it for more things than that, but for me, when I do classes, it's very hard to use big pieces of colored paper because I never have enough. So I would love to put more paper on than I do typically, but even just this little touch of paper, I think really sets this card off. Oh shoot, I forgot to do something. So I did pull out an oldie but goodie, an 1/8 inch handheld punch, and I punched a hole up here at the top. And then I took the circles from the tags die, the new tags dies, and another reinforcer, and I just glued that down there. I didn't tie a bow in it because I had my ribbon down here. The other thing that I added then was I had some bows and I tied them with the glue dot so that everybody can just pull them off and put them on at class. And I just popped that right there on my card. I might add another glue dot down here just to hold that down. But anyways, so now all I have to do is cut out my little bear, pop them up in dimensionals. I do have my tag, and I'm going to use the I've Got Your Back from the same set. It has some great sayings that go with, of course, Count Me In, I've Got Your Back, Count Me In Through Thick and Thin, no matter what, I'm here for you, and that type of thing. So just a cute, cute set. So I hope you like that, and I'll finish that then. So guys, we did it in 45 minutes. Okay, that's not terrible. I know I flipped through some of that pretty quickly, but hopefully gave you enough information that you could easily do that on your own. Does anybody have any questions? Uh-oh, Linda, that's not good. I hope his finger's okay. No fun seeing blood, right? All right, so if I don't see any questions, I do appreciate you all being here. I will put your name in a drawing for next week, and I just look in the comments for tonight's winner a little later. As soon as I can get Facebook to cooperate here, I will pull the winner. And yeah, I will actually, this week's winner is going to get at least one of the cards that I showed you tonight. So yeah, be sure and share it with your friends. Let them know. And if you watch it on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up. That helps a lot in getting YouTube to recognize people. So, all right. So I will see some of you this week. I will see some of you next week. And yeah, God bless. Bye-bye.